Let's talk about Shiloh Hendricks, the woman who called a 5-year-old a racial slur. My first impression after watching the video, a little bit of white trash. I have to be honest, the kid was 5. I have worked with 5-year-olds for the last 15 years. Absolutely everything they do is out of pocket. They're like little unhinged drunk people. Nothing they do makes sense. A 5-year-old is capable of rifling through somebody's bag and taking things that don't belong to them. Ask any kindergarten teacher. But I realize why so many people are wanting to defend this. Because Black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood, that they want to praise this woman. But what she did is not praiseworthy. But also on the same hand, please remember that every day that us white people get on this app, we get called racial slurs. Every single day. So if you don't want to be called a racial slur, you also have to stop calling people racial slurs. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth.
You ever feel tired, but it is deeper than just not sleeping? Tired of having to explain, defend, educate, and endure? That is called black fatigue. And if you have never heard the term before, it is time we talk about it.
Their tendency to commit sacrilegious actions and still turn around to play the victim, okay? And how the rest of the members of the society who are non-black are being suppressed and silenced so as not to victimize these black people. I analyzed everything and I realized that the non-black members of the society, despite being gagged, are extremely tired and fed up with all the nonsense, and it is only a matter of time before they start voicing out their rage and frustration with the whole situation. Well, it turns out that that time is fast approaching. People are fed up with it all and they are now vocally speaking out about their black fatigue.
Blackness fatigue is setting in. America is exhausted from dealing with the never-ending complaints and ingratitude of the black community. Black racism against whites and Asians has reached violent proportions, and with the help and funding of the Democrat Party, militant black racism is getting worse. Well, here's a wild Bill bullet of truth for America. White Americans are the least racist people in the USA, probably the whole world. We have been non-racist for the last 50 years, but today the Democrat Party is using racism as a political weapon. And white America is exhausted from dealing with blackness that has been coming against them day after day for years. White Americans who have never had a racist thought in their lives are tired of being constantly accused of racism. They're tired of being told that every problem in the black community is the fault of white people, that the massive failures of black cities and neighborhoods and families is our fault. This week, some fruitcake politician declared that blacks violently attacking Asians is caused by white people. No matter what white people do or say, they are slandered as villains by blacks who are determined to punish white Americans simply for being white. They are unappeasable. Now, millions of immigrants came here from England, Poland, Italy, South America, Vietnam, Russia. They came from all around the world, and they were dirt poor when they arrived. But they worked hard and became successful and rich and well-adjusted citizens. So why is it that the African community has remained in poverty for 150 years? We built nice new apartment buildings that quickly became high-crime ghettos. Want to get an education on what's happening in Black America? Get on the internet and type in brawls. Restaurant brawls, shopping center brawls, fast food brawls, and look at what you see in those videos. It's not the Germans or the Italians who are turning public places into savage mass fistfights. And it's not the Australians who are walking the streets looking to beat the hell out of some pedestrian simply for having white skin. And it's not the Vietnamese who are burning and looting American cities. And it's not the Russians who are fighting with and sometimes killing our police officers. Now, there are, of course, honorable and respectable men like Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and Dr. Ben Carson. These men are extremely successful and at the pinnacle of their possessions, but for some inexplicable reason, they are hated and ridiculed by the black community as if their success is somehow a betrayal of their race. Men like Carson and Thomas should be held up as role models and emulated, not hated and criticized. America is suffering from blackness fatigue, and that fatigue is slowly but surely becoming a boiling rage. Even the friendliest dog will bite if you kick him long enough, and that is where white America is today. There's a showdown coming. There is no more that we can give. We're done apologizing for imaginary violations, and we're done surrendering to black racism. There's a showdown coming, and it's going to get ugly.
Sup, f***ers? Let's go ahead and talk about black fatigue. I know you've all seen the videos just like I've seen them, and it's definitely a real thing, but I really don't think that it's black fatigue. I think that it's ghetto fatigue, ignorance fatigue, hood fatigue. You've seen them. Bonnets and PJs, pants half off their arse, and they bring with them a certain demeanor that you just want fuck all to do with. You could literally point them out in a crowd. You know they're going to be loud and obnoxious. They're going to instigate shit for damn near no f***ing reason. They want to make sure that the world knows exactly who they are and then take zero accountability for the way that they're being. When they have every opportunity to not be that way. And when they're not being that way, they're setting the example of how society likes things. Calm, peaceful, chill, not fucking ratchet. And this ain't a color thing either. It's a culture thing. Because you see tons of black people who are productive members of society. They have wonderful jobs. They have beautiful families. They're doing everything being peaceful with everyone else. And unfortunately, they don't get as much attention as the ratchet mother. And a lot of them keep asking the question, why the f*** are you people like this? Look what you're doing to our race, to our demographic. Why can't you be like us who chose to be better? And God, they get shit for it and called names and attacked for what? For what? They get called names like fucking Uncle Toms and sellouts and all this other shit because they're just simply making the choice to be productive in society and peaceful with other people of different races. What is so bad about that? You're turning your back on your people. Ah, the same people who shot at me, steal everything that I work hard for and buy, harass and assault my family members. Because if you're talking about those who infringe on my peace and my safety, yes, I absolutely turn my back on them.
Black fatigue. It's all over my FYP page. Thank you. I am so happy that this is being brought up. And oh, by the way, for us white people that have been around the block a long time, this isn't new to us. We've been dealing with this for over 40 years. Here's my story. This is about 2015. I'm at Put-in-Bay. Put-in-Bay's on South Bass Island in Lake Erie. There's a bunch of bars out there. It's a great place for adults to go play. Think of Pat Daly, Mad Dog Adams. If you don't know those guys, think of Jimmy Buffett. I'm sitting on a bench on Delaware waiting for my wife, who's in a shop shopping. And at the time, the traffic is two ways. And I think I witnessed why it is no longer two ways. It's a Saturday afternoon. The island is packed. The traffic is bumper to bumper. These two guys going in opposite directions decide to stop and have a chat. Not for a couple seconds, not for a couple minutes, but I think it was around 10 minutes before people started to threaten them. But around the 5-minute mark, I'm just sitting there with my arms folded, just shaking my head. And I hear this voice, this is what's holding us back. This is why we're hated. And I turned around to see who had said it, and it was a black couple about my age. And then he looked directly at me and said, 30 years ago, I'd go down there, grab those idiots by their dreadlocks, and teach them a lesson their fathers never did. And I looked at him and went, 30 years ago, I'd have been right there with you. I have hated this type of behavior my entire life. I've never gotten it. How self-centered do you have to have no respect for any other human being? It's all about you. These are the people I've spent my life avoiding. But I had never thought about it from the black community side. And I gotta say, it sucks a lot more for you guys than it does for us white people because you're associated with it, right? There are a lot of whites that just put you all together. And it has slowed down the healing of this country. But seriously, 40 years ago, racism should have been over. Unfortunately, the Democratic Party has continued to fan the flames of racism to make money and to get votes. I'm so thankful that a lot of you are waking up to this. And again, I can't stress this enough. This isn't a black thing. This is a behavior thing. Some of my closer friends are black, and I love and appreciate them. And I'm very thankful that they have not allowed the crappy behavior out of some to drag them down.
Now, in case you're black and you are already in the comment section denying this phenomenon, or you are looking for the latest insults to give to me, or you are genuinely unaware of what black fatigue is all about, well, pause, okay? Let me show you what people are actually tired about.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. You didn't let me get my moment, so I want to say my name is Khadijata Diallo, and I'm graduating today. I don't like how you snatched the mic out of my hand, so today is going to be all about me.
Oh, drops the mic. Congratulations!
I'm here 30 minutes before the flight.
Can you please leave, sir?
No.
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm decided that you ain't gonna let me check in.
Make me check you in.
You literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket for. Check in.
And you're not getting on your flight. They made that flight. You didn't. And you think you're gonna check me in. I bet you we won't. Okay?
I paid for a ticket.
And you
I paid for a ticket.
agency fee and you check in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just said that I
was gonna get on your flight.
Yeah, I just said that I would pay the $25.
And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight. And you thought you was gonna get on your flight.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check.
Listen, we don't control that. You will never fly.
You were about to let me check in. You were about to let me check in, and you not in your personal space. This is not your personal space. This is
my stationery.
This is not your personal space. You work for a company. This is not your personal space.
We ain't not worried about it.
Bro, I just want my confidence.
Bring the knife and
Now, there are some clips I want to include here, but I just can't because I don't want to give this platform more reason to censor my channel or censor this video. I'm sorry for the too much air. It is very windy today. You know those violent scenes where you have a white kid who might be in class or just walking in the street or just standing anywhere minding their business, and then this other black kid comes along and starts attacking the white kid for no good reason. Those kind of videos, okay? There are plenty, okay? There are plenty, but I'm not gonna show them here. Now, that is the black fatigue that everyone is complaining about, even black people.
Black fatigue is a thing. Newsflash. White people don't want to live around ratchet black people, and black people don't want to live around ratchet black people. I mean, it's nothing like going to the Walmart on a Sunday morning, and then you see the bonnet crew walk in. Loud, obnoxious, the kids are everywhere, in every aisle, unattended, and that's anywhere you go, no matter what. They're highly emotional, highly sensitive. You can't say nothing. You can't even smile and hold the door for them because they'll look at you like you're crazy. And always the victim of something. Either you stepped on a shoe, you looked at them wrong, you told them good morning. They're never happy, they're never satisfied. And you wonder why normal, good black people move out of the hood as soon as they start getting successful. I was one of those black people that said, man, if I made some money, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna buy up this, buy up that. I'm gonna support the community. As soon as I got my money, I got the fuck up out of there. Because they don't know how to appreciate good shit. And my suburban kids don't need to be dealing with that bullshit. Crab in a barrel mentality. Never take accountability for nothing. So yeah, black fatigue is a thing. And I'll tell you, a lot of people are fucking tired. They're tired of dealing with these kind of people on a daily basis. I mean, I get anxiety when I walk inside of a mall nowadays. I mean, because you got these YNs running around and they don't respect nothing. So I don't care what anybody says. White America is tired of you, and we are too.
White people are tired of being called racist. It is exhausting. The white people are tired of racism, period. They don't care anymore. They are done. They have been told that they are racist so many times that some of them have become exactly what you accuse them of being. That is what happens when you continue to poke people when they are just trying to live their life just like you. People don't choose their skin color or racial identity before they are born. They should be judged based on their current action and not what their ancestors did. It is just not the white man that is tired. Africans are tired. Latinos are tired. Native Americans are tired. Half blacks are tired. Even black people are tired. Everybody is tired of the ghetto, loud, ratchet, and mean black Americans. We are all tired.
Well, let's talk. This is the first time I'm hearing this phrase on TikTok, but I could use context clues and understand what it is. So, funny story, I'm scrolling on TikTok, minding my own business, just getting lost in the videos, and a white woman pops up in my algorithm and it's titled Black Fatigue. And I'm like, this should be interesting. Now, this is a creator that I've really grown to respect their videos. Basically, in her video, she's calling out the black community for different ignorant things that we do. And it's not just her. I've seen a lot of white people on this app kind of come out. It's almost like, raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Regina George type of videos. And that's what they're doing toward black people. Here's the thing. The videos that I've personally seen is not racism. It's accountability. It's one of those to where they are tired. They are fed up to where they have opened their camera and they start confessing the things that agitate them about the black community. And because we have gotten to that point, you know who I blame? The black community. I mean, for one, the actions that they're mentioning is clearly from the black community. Black people in the comment sections are just like, this is racism, this is this, and this is this. I blame y'all. This is what happens when the black community cry wolf or cry racism in instances that's not racism, to where now we have a hard time knowing the difference between what is actually racism and what is actually accountability. We've allowed this to happen because we do not like being held accountable for some of the ignorance, some of the degeneracy, some of the just plain right foolishness that comes out of our community. We refuse to address it. And when we have people who address it, they are called coons. They are called like judgmental. And so now you have white people entering the chat and said, you know what? We're tired of it. We're tired of being called racist for holding y'all accountable to the ignorant things that's happening.
Why is racism coming back? More buzzwords to justify it. The newest one is black fatigue. Before that, it was DEI. You understand there's never anything good enough for these races, right? Let's explain what black fatigue actually is. Black fatigue is actually a book on how racism erodes the mind, body, and spirit and explores systemic racism and its effect on black people. These racists aren't even smart enough to know the definitions of the words they're using, such as DEI. Why are we giving them any attention? Why are they increasing in number? Most people that are racist have zero black friends, have never interacted with a black person in their life, but they're somehow racist still because they're chronically online. You chronically online people need to get a life. Yeah, you're chronically online. No wonder you're so scared and angry at everything all the time, and you're looking for an outlet. And for some reason, that expression comes to making up some new crazy buzzword to be obsessed with a group of people that have no idea who you are and have never thought about you, but your entire thought process is on them. We're actually talking about race in 2025 and justifying 5-year-olds getting called slurs with autism. What? And I go outside in real life and none of y'all are outside. They're chronically online. But go ahead, keep dropping your videos. We're gonna find out who you are. We will. We're gonna find out who you are. Please make more videos.
White people who are appropriating the term black fatigue are doing so because their goal was to never see us happy in our blackness, be proud of our blackness, choose blackness over whiteness. Being is it that we make up such a small percentage of America, it's interesting to me how offended they are by maybe 1 out of 10 people, if they even know one of us.
You can always count on Republicans to take the definition of a word and twist it to fit their own agenda. They did the same thing with DEI, where they made diversity, equity, inclusion a bad thing, which is like insane to me because every single person who isn't a white straight man benefits from DEI. Now they're doing it with black fatigue. Black fatigue refers to the emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by the daily stress of living under systemic racism and its consequences. So basically the only people who really experience black fatigue are black people and the shit that we deal with. But now they're just tired of black people.
We will. We're
So
gonna
basically,
find
you're
out who you
racist.
are.
Like,
Please,
hello? I'm
please make
tired
more
of living in a
videos.
society
White
with black
people
people.
who
I am
are
fatigued.
appropriating the
And then I've
term
seen like even some black
fatigue
people come on here
are
and say
doing
they're tired
so
of black
because
people
their
too.
goal was
I'm like, bitch, are
to
you
never
good? Like,
see
what
us
is going
happy
on?
in
It's
our
getting
blackness,
weird. And
be proud
obviously,
of
the
our
Republicans
blackness,
have always
choose
been good at
blackness
doing this.
over
Always been good
whiteness.
at
Being
changing
is
the
it that
meaning
we
of things
make up
and
such a
boosting it out to
small
their
percentage
following.
of
And I just need
America.
people to like pay
It's
attention
interesting
to what
to
they're
me
doing. Don't
how
fall for the
offended
bullshit.
they
I gotta
are
say, the
by
Republicans are playing a very
maybe
nasty,
1 out of
dangerous
10
game.
people.
They're getting all
If
the
they even
people who
know
follow them
one
who
of
do
us.
not have media
You can
literacy,
always count
who do
on
not know the
Republicans
definition
who take
of
the
words
definition of a
and
word
creating
and
these
twist it to fit their
buzzwords
own
and
agenda.
trigger
They
words
did the
at this
same thing with
point
DEI,
to incite a
where they
response
made
from their
diversity,
mob.
equity,
I can think of an
inclusion a
instance in
bad
history
thing,
where
which
this
is
was
like
insane
done.
to me
So
because
basically, you are
every single
racist.
person who isn't
Black fatigue is the emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion black people experience from ongoing racism, microaggression, systemic inequality, and the constant need to navigate a society built to exclude them. It is a term popularized by author Mary Frances Winters in her 2020 book, Black Fatigue: How Racism Erodes the Mind, Body, and Spirit. It is not just being tired, it is generational exhaustion. Black fatigue looks like having to smile through racist jokes at work, being asked to explain George reparations, or affirmative action over and over again, being treated as a diversity voice in every room, worrying constantly about how your black son or daughter will be treated by the police, knowing that even your success might not protect you. It is the toll of being hyper-aware every day. It is being expected to educate others while healing yourself. Studies show that chronic racism impacts health, raising cortisol levels, increasing risks of heart disease, anxiety, depression, and even shortened life expectancy. That is not just psychological, that is biological oppression. This is not in our head, it is in our bodies. Black fatigue is passed down from slavery to Jim Crow to redlining to mass incarceration to modern workplace biases. Each generation inherits a little more trauma and still has to smile, show up, and survive. And here's the worst part: when we try to talk about it, we are often told to get over it, stop being so sensitive, or it is not always about race. In 2025, Black Americans are still fighting to vote freely, get fair housing, avoid police violence, and be represented without tokenism. And yes, many of us are tired, not because we are weak, but because this system is exhausting. Because being resilient should not be a job requirement for survival. If you are watching this and you are not black, here is what you can do. Stop expecting black people to educate you for free. Learn on your own. Listen when we speak. Really listen. Do not minimize. Do not dismiss. Use your privilege to interrupt racism where it lives, at work, school, online, everywhere. Vote for policies that dismantle, not reinforce systemic oppression. Check in with your black friends. Do not just call them when a hashtag is trending. Black fatigue is real. It is painful. It deserves recognition, not dismissal. But this fatigue, it also fuels black brilliance, creativity, culture, and revolution. We have been tired for centuries, and yet we are still here, still rising. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.